Ireland has set ambitious climate targets, and the hospitality sector plays a vital role. By cutting fossil fuel use and embracing renewable technologies, hotels can save thousands of tons of CO2, reducing operating costs and enhancing guests' comfort. Parknasilla Resort is showing the way, proving that luxury and sustainability can go hand in hand.
I've been living in Kerry for over 35 years, and an opportunity came up through a colleague of mine to purchase Parknasilla. So we went to work on it, and we were very fortunate to purchase it in December 2012. And when we purchased it, I was aware of the natural beauty of the area, and also that Parknasilla had a terrific history going back to 1895 when it was first built. So it didn't take long to realise that it was a very special place. And I think the biodiversity, the natural landscape, the coastal landscape, the tide that comes in obviously twice a day was a huge impact, and we can let people see what Kerry has to offer, and particularly southwest Kerry, because it's very mild. We have the Gulf of Mexico, which pushes the Gulf Stream up here, so we get terrific growth about 10-11 months of the year. When we came here, obviously we'd worked to do in the hotel. It had gone through a difficult time, and we'd worked to renovate and repair. But in tandem to that, we wanted to try and make a very positive impact on the environment, on sustainability. And we did that really through encouraging our staff to get involved. The first thing we did was set up a green team, and we had some wonderful staff from many different countries who came up with great ideas, such as changing the light bulbs to LED, using coffee grounds, we use it in compost, and that really got us on the road. So once we made initial changes, I suppose what we call the low-hanging fruit, we then started to move into other areas, and we tried to make a plan as to what we could do, how we could really make an impact. And part of it, I suppose, is looking at the use of our fossil fuels. Anything that we could improve, we looked at very carefully. And we were fortunate enough to come across MasterTherm. Lucas came down many, many years ago and tried to convince me to put in air to water, but I shied away from it. I was too nervous, we hadn't the funds in place. And a number of years later, he came back and made a great pitch to us to consider this. And when we looked at it, we were aware that the average mean temperature for the area is 11 degrees, almost 12 degrees. So an air to water system made great sense. But of course, being a hotelier, you're always a little bit nervous to make big changes. So we decided to do it little by little. So the first thing we did is we converted an east wing heating system into air to water, and we were truthfully blown away by how successful it was. Our gas consumption reduced drastically, probably down to almost 90% of reduction. We increased electricity usage but only marginally, and the cost savings were really terrific. But I suppose the bigger picture was we started the first journey on making a really big improvement on what we were doing in the hotel that would look for sustainability in the future and help us to build that. So when we did that, we got a bit braver, and again Lucas came down with Tim O'Leary, his engineer, and they came up with a great plan for us to continue our path. And the next thing was the leisure centre, and of course I was very nervous of that, because the last thing you want is your guests going into a chilly swimming pool. The temperature of the pool really needs to be around 29-30 degrees. We had gas pumping in every day from a plant which was about 80 to 100 metres away, and that was costing probably 400 to 500 euros a day to heat that. It was not sustainable really going forward. It was not good for the environment. It was not good for cost management. So Lucas came up with a plan, and we started the process. We implemented the plan. There was a couple of sleepless nights, but it worked to perfection, and it made a massive impact for us. A lot of the guests were unaware. You know, once the pool is warm, they're happy. And that for us was a big success from a sustainable point of view, from an environmental point of view. The savings were really good. The efficiency of it was terrific, and we were able to measure it. And that gave us renewed confidence. So then we moved on to another project, which was heating another wing of the hotel. And that again gave us great success, both in reduction of fossil fuel and really using what the ambient temperature is. It's a terrific system. It's very simple, but it works very effectively. It's very quiet. Our plant rooms were completely transformed because they were a little bit old, and we really wanted to do something that would be good for the next 20 years. So we've completed phase 3, and that has been a terrific success. We're really happy with it. And as well as that, we tried to come up with other little ideas. You know, we've reduced our plastic consumption in the hotel drastically. We got rid of all plastic bottles. We now use glass bottles, and we now produce our own water, filter it through the hotel, and we bottle the water safely. We're looking at ideas to use wind energy. We are on the Atlantic coast, and we do get some wind here, particularly in the winter time. And then additionally to that, we're looking at PV panels so that we can use solar. The bottom line is we won't be here forever. Our guests won't be here forever, but we believe the environment will, and we want to be part of that. We want to leave a legacy of just maintaining what's there, improving it if we can, and looking forward to a really good sustainable future.
Parknasilla Resort is leading the way in Ireland's energy transition, proving that with vision, the right technology and SEAI grant support, real change is possible. Their achievements have already been recognised with a prestigious SEAI Energy Award. Now it's time for more hotels, leisure centres and businesses across the hospitality sector and beyond to follow suit, cut carbon, reduce costs and create a sustainable future for Ireland.